I come in peace. That's for sure.
And you go in pieces, asshole.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Swallow this.
Okay, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Arrow in the Head Show. Of course, I'm Lance, and my co-host is the Arrow himself, Mr. John Fallon. John, it's good to see you again, buddy. How have you been?
Too. I'm pretty good, man. I'm pretty good. I had a good weekend. Craft beers. Went to eat some quesadilla in one of my favorite places in the mountains. Really nice quesadillas. Saw nature, and also got to play the Nightmare on Elm Street pinball, which I really. There's a bar near my place, section of California that what's the word? Does not have much to offer in terms of entertainment, but I have two places I go. I got one bar that's like an 80s themed rock bar. So, you know, your favorite music, as I know, 80s metal. You know.
Top of the mountain, my friend.
You can't get enough. Can't get enough. And there's another bar where they do craft beer, but the big add-on is they have a Nightmare on Elm Street pinball machine and a Batman from the Michael Keaton Batman pinball machine. I love pinball machines, so
89,
I went to play some pinball and shit like that and just unwind, and I'm back to work. What about you? What'd you do this past weekend, man?
There's a cool little event that exists out here I never heard of. Well, I'm new, so that's fair. It's a Christmas boat parade, and so what people do, and this is clearly I'm more south, I'm below the Mason-Dixon line now in my life. A bunch of people line up on the shore of the canal, coolers of beer, blankets, and then at night there's like 80 to 100 boats that just, you know, rich people that just, I'm talking, bling out their boats with Christmas lights and do all sorts of crazy stuff, and people just get drunk and like cheer them on. I've never experienced this, so that's kind of fun, you know. Had a couple cold ones, a cigar, and then just yelled at boats. I was like, hey, when in Rome.
To each his own. You had me, you know, with the rich boats, you know, the booze by the canal, but then you lost me at the yelling at the boats. I thought you were gonna go on the boat, but no, you're just yelling at them. Yeah, you're rich. Yeah.
I mean, well, I didn't really yell, you know, per se. I clapped a couple times because I could tell that people put an effort, but it was more just like, so there's both a lot of Christmas lights. Okay, fair enough. I you know, it's more just to kind of be a part of the neighborhood. So I was like, fine. It's weird. I've never seen that. I didn't grow up around boats. You know, it's like, all right.
Well, I'm actually really pumped for today's show because we're going to be tackling film that really marked me as a young man. Well, I think I was in my teens. Of course, the 1990 I Come in Peace, also known as Dark Angel. By the way, we have Matthias Hues going to join us a little later on, so you guys stick around till, you know, you got to watch the whole show, top to bottom, whole show, the entire thing, all right? But before that, let's not break tradition. What are you drinking?
Okay, John, I got something I never had before. It's Ancient City Brewing is a brewery. They're out of St. Augustine, it looks like. It's called Orange Amber Ale, so let's see how this is.
Oh, okay.
What about you, buddy?
Well, I'm going dry this week.
Is that an option, John?
Well, everything's a choice in life. No, I have actually a big event next weekend. I'm going to this like VIP thing, where Sylvester Stallone's going to be there. Hear him talk on stage, and then I get a picture taken with him and stuff, which is a huge thing for me because, you know, Sylvester Stallone's basically my male role model, my father figure growing up. So I'm like, look, you fat cunt, just water for a week so that, you know, when you finally take a picture and meet, you know, a guy that influenced you so much, you don't look like, you know. I got a coffee cup, but within it is not coffee. It's just ginger ale. So on that, cheers, my man. Cheers to you all. Sorry I'm going in bitch mode, but, you know, I got to do what I got to do.
Hello, my friends! Hey!
Doesn't have the same punch to do this show with a ginger ale, you know? Well, wow.
But either way, let's get into it, man, because I also love this movie. Action, sci-fi, high concept. Like you said, 1990, which I love because it's the most 80s movie you could see, but that's the beauty of like the beginning of any decade. It's like it always leans a little bit back I Come in Peace. Better name, by the way. I'm just going to start out saying I hate the name Dark Angel, and I own the Blu-ray from Shop Factory. The Dark Angel title and like a different cover in it. I'm always been a little disappointed because I think I Come in Peace is just, it's so iconic and it's so to the point, you know? So I don't know. It's a little bitching, but overall, great transfer, great Blu-ray, and it holds up, man. It holds up.
Yeah, it's just, it's almost, well, the film was directed by Craig R. Baxley, who comes from the stunt world. And he actually directed some pretty good movies. Action Jackson, of course, with Carl Weathers, aka Apollo Creed. Stone Cold.
Stone Cold. Yeah.
Man. You can't go wrong with that. And of course, I Come in Peace. And the thing about Baxley, you got to give it to him. His background in stunts, as stunt coordinator, stunt choreographer, makes that in his films, the stunts are they always kick some serious ass. They're always like at a higher level. And I know with I Come in Peace, they had money. They didn't have that much money. He put it all on screen. Every time like he saw an opportunity to just blow shit up, he would blow shit up. And as per the picture, the explosions in this film, they look fantastic. They look real. It looks dangerous. The actors, that's actually one trick that he does a lot, which I think Matthias had talked to me about a while back. Maybe I got that info from him, I forget, but he likes to put the actors near the explosion. So the actual actors, not stuntmen. So you see it's, Matthias Hues, near the explosion. You see it's, what's his name? Dolph Lundgren. So that creates like a bigger sense of danger, and authenticity in terms of the action scene. So I really appreciate that. And I Come in Peace is like, forget about it. And the amount of mayhem there is in this movie is fucking amazing.
One, I forgot it was a Christmas movie, hence why.
Yeah.
In our December showing, it's one of them. I mean, it's not really, but it's set in it, but it doesn't deal with it. But it's still a fun little add-on.
It's like they didn't have the money to the movie opens in a Christmas tree lot, and then they're like, we don't have time to fucking put Christmas lights and shit. Let's just blow shit up. That's what it feels like. But it is on paper a Christmas movie, and that's why we're covering it.
But it's an action. So that's the thing, though. It's like it's an action movie. Let's be honest. It's an 80s action movie. I know it's 1990, but I'm going to continue saying 80s because it's clearly 80s, and we'll get into that later. What I love about this high concept is that it could just be a rogue cop going after some rogue guy, some rogue killer drug dealer, whatever. But it's like, okay, now let's make the drug dealer an alien, and let's make the drug dealing alien steal from the drug dealers to use the drugs to get the people high to steal the endorphins. Oh, and also there's a cop from his world that's coming down here. It's like, it just kind of keeps going. I'm like, I love that shit. I love it because it makes such an iconic character. Hues it's iconic, and he doesn't say anything. He says, I come in peace, which I've always liked because I always, at least my interpretation of it was, it's obviously an alien from different planet and different race and species. And they say that because they know that should be comforting to us. But everything about that is not comforting. They're giant, evil, white eyes. It's like, I come in peace. It's like, it doesn't work. It's not working.
I love how the cop alien, bothered to learn all of English. But the bad guy alien, he was like, you know what, guy, you're going to go down, get us the drugs for the planet. Like, you just need to learn one line.
Yeah. It's essentially Donde está el baño? Only
exactly.
For what he needs,
Exactly. So it's like my Spanish, dos cerveza por favor. That's it. That's all I need to know, So there's a lot of fucking cool shit. That's why the movie for me really stuck with me. Well, first of all, Matthias Hues as the evil alien is an iconic character.
Absolutely.
It's no wonder that he's still known as that role today. It's if the movie would have popped at the box office, it got like pretty shitty distribution. So they didn't have the money in P&A or just like having a wide release that say Aliens did. If the movie would have had a wider distribution, I think it could have popped, but unfortunately it did not. It's a buddy movie as well with Lundgren and Ben. I always forget his fight. He has a weird fucking name.
Brian Ben. Yeah,
there you go. So it's a buddy movie, the reckless cop and the tight ass suit cop, the usual shtick, but it works. So it's that, it's aliens, it's everything, man. It's a
corrupt
fucking
FBI agent. Yeah, it just keeps going.
Yeah. So it's everything in a stew filled with explosions and guns that fire bullets at a level I don't think I've ever seen in a movie. Like when that gun fires off, the alien gun, man. Dude, it takes out a fucking city block, So you're like, okay, how can you miss? I don't know. they miss a lot, but whatever.
Hey, it's the 80s. They're always gonna miss.
Yeah.
But can I tell you, there's a scene that I want to bring up because I thought of it when we were talking about the guns earlier off camera. Is that I love a good old fashioned blank. You know, listen, I understand. I get it that they're not commonly used. It's a little more dangerous. It takes education, and God forbid we educate ourselves. But the look of a blank when it just has that sort of fucking fire, man. And there's a scene that I absolutely love. It's such a small scene, but I don't know if you remember Matthias Hues, the alien. He's driving a commandeered vehicle, chasing the agent and Dolph Lundgren, and the agent fires the gun, blows up the car, and then it's a great cut because it blows up the car, and immediately Matthias is just fucking running out of the flames. T2 style. I'm like, oh man, that's so cool, you know?
Yeah.
It's a badass gun, man.
It's a badass gun, and let's not forget the badass fucking flying CD shit. I mean, that's fucking cool, dude.
I come in peace.
So when he walks in, I think he walks into like a convenience store or something, and there's like this geek cop, reading a comic, I think, and he just comes in and with,
I come in peace.
the music, no, I come in peace, and bing, right away, the fucking disc. I'm like, whoa, this is like a fucking movie made for every young man, that played with trucks, and it's kind of like a very machismo movie, and it hits all the right buttons for a very, I don't even know how to verbalize it. You got everything, man. You got big guns, big explosions. You got cool weapons, flying CDs.
Yeah.
I mean, trench coats. Fucking Matthias Hues looks cool as fuck. You can't. Come
on. You have the cop who doesn't give a shit. It's just he has like the leather jacket. He's not dressing in uniform. His commanding officer doesn't like him. It's like everything you want. He also has like a cool apartment because he's just fucking slick. I was like, everything about it. It's every trope of the 80s. Just shoved in. But like you said, though, it's fun. Yeah. Because it doesn't wink at the audience, but clearly Baxley, I hope I'm saying that correctly, kind of understood as, like you said, a stunt guy. Like, okay, we need to make it fun. Like it follows a logical step, and I don't think it breaks any big rules, but it's clearly, like you said, it's a macho movie. It's just badass shit happening after badass shit. But to get back to the disc real quick, I think what I really liked about it is that they established the entire time that this thing is so deadly that you can't contain it. They try to create it, it cuts them. They get out of the thing, it murders everybody. Like they can't. It's just so cool, Yeah. And again, a CD, and call me old fashioned, but like I love CDs. I have a bunch of them, and it dates it, but in like a really charming way, because the CD is the most deadly weapon in the film.
I guess any dislikes? Is there anything you don't like about the picture? I mean,
no, because it is what it is. I would say the only thing, if I had to be real honest, I don't think this is the best Dolph role. I mean, I like the guy. I think he's a fine actor in terms of what he's always done. But I've always viewed this movie as I'm rooting for the bad guy. So I think Dolph is fine. But there's a couple lines. Even M was like, "You didn't really nail that one." I'm like, "Yeah, we're here for the bad guy. We're here for the alien guy." So I mean, if I'm being like real picky, I guess that would be it. I mean, I guess one thing that kind of came across this last time is I wish there was more gore, and that's just from my perspective. I don't think it's a negative on the director, because he clearly was going for more action. Yeah. But every time he stuck the needle in people's heads, I was hoping for a little bit of splatter. But again, that's not this movie. This movie is an action first. So like I said,
it's a bit like Terminator. I mean, in the original Terminator, of course I cared about Michael Biehn and Linda Hamilton, but really the star of the movie was Schwarzenegger. And it's the same fucking thing here. And we'll talk about it with Matthias after, but the role initially was Dolph was offered the alien role. He wanted to play the hero.
No, is it because he was mostly bad guys, right? I mean,
well, I'm assuming he wanted to, I'm assuming, I don't fucking know. It's not like Dolph and I are bum buddies, but we're not. No? So, well, maybe on weekends. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm assuming that he wanted to be a leading man. So, the alien has like 2 lines, and it's the same line. I come in peace, I come in peace. It's a bit parallel to Drago, which is what made him a big star, Rocky IV, where, if he dies, he dies, I must break you. He hardly fucking talks in the movie. So as an actor, I imagine, and again, I assume, I do not know this for a fact, but as an actor, you look at it, hey man, I want the leading man, the hero with all the lines, as opposed to the bad guy who has 2 lines, to build my career, because that was early on in Dolph's career. It makes sense to me why Dolph would do that. With that said, even with just 2 lines, it's Matthias's movie in my
His
opinion.
facial expressions. I mean, there's a couple times where obviously heightened because he doesn't talk, but it's so cool because he has that face shape. He has the eyes. So I agree with you. It works. And he steals the movie because I'll tell you this. I find this cover, the VHS cover, not that stupid Blu-ray cover that I have, to be one of the most iconic covers in the video store. I remember walking the aisles. I go to the video store all the time. That was like where I hung out. And it's just that cover of him having the little arm needle against his neck. So I could call somebody up right now who's never seen this movie, but used to hang out at the video store, and they'd be like, if I showed the movie, the cover, they'd be like, oh, the blonde guy with exactly. So that alone shows you that, like you said with Schwarzenegger and Terminator, this is Hues' movie. But what about you, man? Is there any issues you have, if you had to pick any, or am I the only asshole here?
Not really. I mean,
Thanks, buddy. Thanks.
Not real. No. I mean, even your issues are nitpicks. Really, they're nitpicks. I wish there was more gore. What was it? The other one, Dolph doesn't land every delivery. But from my perspective, he's struggling with his accent. That's what's happening.
Hey, who am I? I can't talk. I mean, I
really,
my age,
it is. You know what I like? It is what it is, and it embraces what it is.
Yes.
I worked on a film once, and they did everything wrong. It was an action sci-fi flick, and I'm not going to name it because I don't want to, just name it. I'm just going to say it was an action sci-fi flick, and they would spend like 8 hours. 8 hours. I'm exaggerating to make a point. They would spend a very long time in a day for a dialogue scene, to the point that when it came to the action scene, they didn't have time.
Oh, they rushed.
So the actions was rushed, but the drama shit was, really, really got a lot of coverage. and I was like, guys, what the fuck you doing? People are not going to watch this movie for the drama; they're going to watch it for the action. And it's the same thing when I Come in Peace. Yes, okay, maybe some of the dialogue is not, perfect, or is there character depth? I don't give a fuck. Does shit blow up? Is there action? Is it enthralling? Is it funny? Is it stylish? Does it have a really kitschy 90s score? Dun, 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 dun. Yes, it does. So I'm fucking in. I got no complaints. It's just fun.
Well, let me say this so before we move on. I really loved how it had that sleazy, and again, I keep saying 80s because I know it's 90, but it's 80s to me. Those like business, those yuppie business bad guys. Yeah. I loved it. Those are my favorite bad guys, maybe because I grew up in this era. I know people like fuck them. I love the kind of bad guy that doesn't like his hands dirty and lets his men do the thing. But it has Sam Anderson as Warren, and I love that man. He'll be Bernard in Lost. He's the newspaper editor in Critters too. So I just want to throw a little shout out and say that, like, anytime that guy's in a movie, I'm like, yeah, Sam Anderson, keep kicking ass.
He's great. Yeah, he's a great slimy villain. Yeah.
I mean, I know it's heroin, but like, man, it should have been cocaine because all these guys just look like the Lamborghinis and the suits. It's like somebody's doing blow in the bathroom.
Big time, big time. Isn't there a scene? No, there isn't a scene of anybody doing blow, but there should have been, because
like topless girls, like RoboCop. Bitches leave. Like we needed a bitches leave scene in I Come in Peace, but
definitely. It's too bad, even though Matthias. Well, spoilers. I'm gonna spoil the ending of the movie. So if you haven't seen it, pause, watch the movie, come back. They blow him up at the end, and you go in pieces. And
a great ending line. Though.
Yeah. But I'm like, I wish there would have been a sequel. I mean, that movie begged for a sequel. If there's any fucking movie out there that should have had a sequel, it's that one. Yes. With Cobra, Stallone's Cobra, but that's another story.
Yeah.
So, I wonder if the movie would have popped, would they have brought back Matthias, or would they have just gone with another alien? I don't know.
I mean, they should have. I almost think they should have copied Terminator and like brought back Matthias, but had him been the good guy technically against another badder alien. Just because. No. Why? You don't have to have him talk.
That's when Terminator lost his fucking balls.
You're saying on camera that
I love Terminator Judgment Day.
What a hot take.
I love Terminator Judgment Day, but I like the original Terminator better. And the second, you have the T-800, shooting a bunch of people in the kneecaps because he can't. I don't know. I love the fucking movie. It's a 10 on 10. Don't get me wrong here, man.
I'm about hanging you in the.
Don't get me wrong here. But I prefer my villains to stay villain.
Okay, but how about this?
I would have preferred that
twin brother.
Oh, or he's a clone.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. I mean,
hey, you know what? Let's get Matthias on, man. Let me see if I could get him on. And we are here with my good friend Matthias Hues. How you doing, buddy?
I come in peace. That's for sure.
Nice.
How you both doing? How are you guys? Good?
Very good. Preparing for the holidays,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah,
why
right.
we rewatched I Come in Peace, because it
You
is a
did.
Christmas movie. Yeah.
I have my wife watch it once a week. She must
Really?
understand. She's never seen it. She always wants to see it, right? And I say, don't bother. It's like I've seen it so many times. I can't bear look at it anymore. But she's the only one that hasn't seen it.
Really,
Actually.
she's never seen I Come in Peace.
No.
Well, that movie was really, it is what you are known the most for.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too. Yeah.
It started really slow. It's so interesting when you're in the movie business, right? You do a lot of movies before people actually know who you are, and then by the time they know who you are, you're not expecting it. So I remember the first time I heard a DJ saying "I come in peace" when I walked in a place was in Florida in some nightclub, and I thought, oh my God, this is making the rounds, because it wasn't a big success in the theater that much.
Yeah.
But it was on Blockbuster, DVD, VHS actually. It made its round, and it made the round over and over. So eventually a lot of people saw it, and that was wherever I went, I come in peace, And I
Yeah.
thought, what? I wish this would have happened the day it came out, because you don't expect it.
That's the curse of the cult classic. The movie that doesn't make any money when it's released, but over time it finds its audience. But yeah, that could have helped when it came out.
It could have helped, but I gotta tell you, true story. I invited all my friends, as it is. Finally have a movie in the theater, right? It's a big thing.
Yeah.
So we got a limo. We drive up to the place on Westwood, one of the nicest theaters back then. And there's a line around the building, and I'm all nervous. We're coming too late, and we finally make it to the cash register, and I say, "Oh my God, I hope you still have tickets." What was it, 6 tickets on something? She said, "What movie?" I said, "I Come in Peace." She said, "Don't worry about it. I have plenty for those."
Oh, that sucks.
And I thought, how's that even possible? And I said, "What's the other movie?" It was Die Hard 2.
Yeah. No.
So that'll did, and it wasn't meant to be. No one expected it. I had big deals. I had 3 picture deals, $1 million. Any studio I wanted, contingent on the success of, this is not like, right? I mean, it's like I had Eileen Feldman was my agency, big agent, Brad Pitt. She has Brad Pitt and a bunch of other A-listers. And I'm finally walking into the agency like in that movie Entourage, where you see Beverly Hills, right, on this long table, and they're showing you all these things. This is what we're going to do for you. And you're like, oh, wow, this is so cool, And then the film bombs. And then next thing you know, there's nobody calling me back, This is really weird. Where's my 3 picture deal,
Yeah.
Done, no more.
Well, the film didn't get a fair shake because the distribution was really weak. They didn't have like it came out in Canada. I remember when I saw it on the big screen in French, dubbed in French. It didn't come out in English. So basically, the distributor didn't want to pony up for like a wide distribution. So it didn't get a wide distribution, and it didn't get much P&A either at the time.
And by 1997, there was nowhere in the world that I traveled to where I couldn't walk down the street without hundreds and hundreds of people following me. It was just bizarre.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go to the customs in Italy or something, police escort. Are we talking about this was out of this world? It was really so much for so many years that it was, wow, I can't believe it. This one movie,
Yeah.
like a passport or something,
Yeah.
But most people never knew my name. They was like, oh, I Come in Peace. You know what I mean? It's like my name wasn't even on the cover.
No, it wasn't. You're right. It was just Dolph. Yeah. Dolph Lundgren. I Come in Peace. Yeah.
Dolph here, Dolph there, Dolph in the back, Dolph on top of it.
Yeah, Dolph everywhere. Yeah. But yet, you're the star of the movie. If I remember correctly, your role was initially going to be Dolph's role.
That's exactly right.
And Dolph turned it down, wanting to play the hero, and they got you. So you got like the lead of the movie.
I have to say, when I met Dolph the first time after Rocky, he was a god for me, like iconic, That blonde hair, 6'5", muscled, like super face. and then he was like unreachable for me, thinking that's the ultimate whatever, right, guy.
Yeah.
And I get an audition. I didn't know it's for his movie, and they had all these big guys in the office, taller than me, most of them, 6'8", 6'10", 6'11". That was the minimum, so I was kind of lying about my size. But I was. And when I talked to the director, that was love on first sight, bromance, right? Yeah. And he said, man, you're lucky, because he knew he would take me anyway. He said, you're lucky. I said, why? That's Dolph Lundgren movie. I'm like, Dolph? That Dolph? Yeah, it's Dolph Lundgren. That script was written for Dolph, but for some reason he likes to be the detective. And it's a big mistake, but it's whatever. He's the star. So for you, it's a chance. You're gonna be basically the lead of the movie, and go and run with it. But you have to do all the stunts, and when I say jump, I have to say how high, right? And I said, fine, that's what I do.
Yeah, because
track and field run.
Very impressed by the stunt work you've done in that picture, because I know you did. I think you did all of the stunts except for the jump. I think, right?
That jump was impossible to do. Yes, but I did the beginning of the jump on fire on a platform that was elevated in the air. I don't know how many high, forever high.
Yeah.
And the camera team on that, and I was running over the cars, through the burning window, on fire, onto that platform, and I thought, I'm going to kill everyone with me. It's insane because I can't. 30 feet. I don't know. It was pretty high. I couldn't see the back, basically.
That's not a good thing. Yeah. But you did the run, which really is ridiculous stunt.
You have no time to rehearsal, and I am blind.
Yes, the contacts, right?
Yeah, you can't see. So they don't have a hole. So blind people can't see. They only see shadows. So they actually have to had someone walk me around the set when I was wearing them. I'm not kidding. I would see like a blind person sees, kind of like you see only schemes, outlines of something.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
And you have to do the stunt basically by memory, with shoes that are, because I lied about my height. I'm only 6'5", and Dolph is exactly 6'5" like me. They gave me 3 inches, which is insane. Plateau shoes like a punk rocker, right?
Yeah.
And difficult to run with those.
After the success of I Come in Peace on VHS, on DVD, on cable, that there was never a sequel.
Yeah, it blows my mind too.
Like,
but
really?
There's many attempts.
Yeah.
The first attempt was by a company called Odyssey, with, I think Mark Damon was involved, Raphael Isaac. These were the people behind Moshe Diamond. It was a splitter group. Yeah. And they wanted to do a sequel, went to the film market. It wasn't time, because it wasn't a cult hit yet. They couldn't generate enough pre-sales at that time. And then it kind of fell off. And they didn't want Dolph, because Dolph wasn't interested. So they talked to Lorenzo Lamas about it.
I personally don't think for a sequel that you need Dolph. You are, whether, Mr. Lundgren agrees or not, you are that movie. If you think, when I was a child, and I've sent this to you, Matthias, I drew you. I didn't draw Dolph.
Yeah.
I drew you because you're the fucking you're the alien from I Come in Peace, and it's an iconic role, and it's cool. I mean, you're shooting discs out of your arms, you get the spike. I mean, you're jumping over cars. You have that gun that fires more bullets I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Dolph was interviewed the other day, I heard, and said, from all the movies, which one would you do a sequel? And he said, I Come in Peace, but I would animate the character, he said.
Animate? What do you mean by animate?
Like Hulk.
Like VFX, CGI, the guy.
Yeah, so I don't know why. Too bad, because I would really like to do the movie with him. And last year I had it at MGM. I have a sequel I wrote. In my opinion, a very clever sequel. But so we had it with the vice president of MGM. Next thing you know, he's not there anymore. And with him, it died. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yep, I know the game. Yeah.
Around, moving chairs, right?
Yeah.
Very fast. And with that, the project goes again. Boom, here we go again. There's a lot of social channels. When I post something, maybe you read the comments here and there. If I post something from I Come in Peace, it's always the same. Why don't you do a sequel? Oh, I saw it when I was 2. You scared the hell out. I still watch it. I can't believe I watched it 10 times or whatever. And you think, why is there not a producer? You're like, you would have to be a fan. I know you're a producer, but let's just say you have a Netflix deal, right? And you say, hello, Netflix, how about a sequel? You need someone like that.
Well, you need somebody. You need somebody in an MGM like that because they own the rights.
They own the rights.
Yeah.
Good luck getting there. Yeah.
Yeah.
In Texas, I got to tell you. So I was still a bit like the wild boy, and I came there with long blonde hair, right? Extensions for the movie. And I thought, this is going to be my best film. I'm going to have so many fun with the girls, Texas, right? And then the producer shows up and he says, oh, no, Matthias. You look like a rock singer. No fucking way, man. We're going to have to dye your hair white, give you a contact lens. I said, no, I'm going to look like a monster. He said, yeah, but that's how the character is going to be. You're not going to be a rock star. You're going to be an alien. I was like, oh, my world was crashing, and then they my hair white. You don't know, this is really crass in Texas to have white long hair, right? And I did go out in a nightclub once, and I remember this guy bumping into me on purpose. That was the moment of truth.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna come after me, but nothing happened. So I never went out again.
Well, you know what? We love what you do. Keep doing it, Matthias.
Thank you, and I love you guys. I'm a fan of you guys. Thank you for always considering me.
Definitely.
Amazing. Without you two, we would have no one to listen or to look at. No, it's like, yeah, that's important. We all fans. I mean, I'm a fan. I watch everything. I'm just like you guys, and I think it's amazing you give people like myself a voice. Well, and many other actors. So
you're welcome. We just we like to talk to cool people. That's it.
Oh, thanks.
All right. Well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, my friend.
All right. Both you are amazing. Merry Christmas, and John will talk soon.
I gotta mention it, but he wrote a book called Shirtless in Hollywood. I actually read it during the pandemic. Matthias and I kept in contact a lot during the pandemic. Him and Alexander Nevsky are two people that I spoke with a lot during the pandemic. We were kind of like supporting each other through it. And he sent me his book and I read it, and it's fucking amazing. It really is fucking amazing. I'm not getting percentage off sales or anything. It really is. For anything. Seriously, yeah?
Yeah, please. Well, I'll put in the link though in the description.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to support people that are always helping out,
Because he has some pretty wild fucking stories. One of my favorite of his stories is he snuck in on the set of Kingdom of Heaven, the Ridley Scott movie. To play an extra, to like get a role in it, So he just walked in, pretended he belonged, and he went up a mountain, and Ridley Scott was shooting, and he was going to go there and introduce himself and say, yeah, I want to work in your movie, put me in. But he wound up, I don't remember the details, but I think he was talking to somebody, and he blew a take. And Ridley Scott got fucking pissed. He's like, who's this fucking guy? Get him off my fucking set. And he got thrown off the set.
Oh man, that sucks. I thought the story was going to end happy. Like,
no,
he's on screen.
There's one story where he wound up in a hotel room with Russian gangsters. He was talking to a private investor, but Russian gangsters showed up because he owed them money and they wanted to whack him. And then Matthias is there in the middle of all this. Hey, aren't you the guy from One Come in Peace? And doing selfies and really wild stuff. And Shirtless in Hollywood, it's on Amazon. Check it out. I guess that's pretty much it, brother.
Well, it's a great time talking.
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
Early 90s action, late 80s in my heart. But we continue on our December Christmas list. Yeah. I got a tree. Where's it at? It's right here, right?
Yeah, I see that. I see that. It's pretty nice.
Where's your tree, John?
I got a weird Christmas, dude, because you see, as you know, but you guys don't know, I used to live in Canada, and during the pandemic, let's just say my life kind of went fucking nuclear. And next thing you know, I'm in the States. Now I live in California. So when I was in Canada, we spent Christmas with my mom, my dad, my family. Of course, during the pandemic, they made that difficult. But this year, it's just me and my chick. So it's kind of weird to get in a Christmas spirit, to get a tree. And when for me, Christmas has always been about, my entire family, my mom, my dad. Yeah. So it's kind of weird. So I don't know. I don't think I'll have a tree. I don't know what my Christmas is gonna be, but we'll see.
Well, John, I was just giving you a hard time. Thanks for fucking punching down, buddy. It's like, I was like, where's the tree? You're like, I don't see my family anymore. It's a fucking asshole. But I do appreciate you ruining the moment and make me feel like an asshole. It's very sweet of you.
Sorry to be a Debbie Downer. I miss my mama. But that's it. No, but in all seriousness, yeah, no, it takes some adjustment, adjusting to everything. A lot of adjustment on my end, but to leave it on a high note, I'll find something cool to do, and with my chick, and it'll be all good in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
All right, buddy. Well, hey, until next week.
You got it, buddy.
Our December list continues, Ben. Everybody at home, if you got anything left, cheers, and appreciate the support.
Comments. I want comments about this great fucking movie. All right, guys and gals. Thank you very much. Cheers.